Hey everybody, yesterday I went ahead and started in this book to explain why I'm actually not in violation of any actual lawful orders, but why Collin County is trying to proceed with void orders alleging contempt of possession and access with my baby girl, and why I'm actually abiding by the law and keeping her safe instead of just succumbing to their corruption to court sanction the kidnapping, neglect, and abuse of my now 25-month baby girl. Again, I had reviewed that the main culprit judge that is signing off on these orders right now is Emily Miskell of the 470th Court of Collin County. I went over and talked about how ultimately when dishonest judges ignore evidence, twist rules and procedure, obstruct the record, retaliate, manufacture facts or ignore others, allow different claims and dismiss valid ones, deny admission of evidence prejudicial to the favored party, suborn perjury, mischaracterize pleadings, engage in ex parte communications, and misapply the law. They are, in fact, moving forward as, committing crimes as criminals in their first and last name and not as judges, and that is what Emily Miskell of the 470th Court is currently engaging in when she does these things intentionally. Motivation is a separate issue, but it's very clear in my case. I've gone through and actually read all this information yesterday, so I'm not going to do it again today. My baby girl's still sleeping, so I'm going to try to hurry up and get through this binder. This is the investiture where I was saying that I'm actually thrilled to think that a Collin County judge that is a strong upholder of the Constitution and the rights of the people, as well as applying the law, could definitely read my letter and request that I sent her to not sign the fraudulently construed in the matter of the marriage of temporary order that was issued on October 2nd, while they stated that I didn't appear and knew I was at the courthouse. Instead, she found this, and that judicial activism she says she's against looks like it just escalated because they filed this on the record. And of course, here is my October 6th letter, entitled at that time to the Honorable Emily Miskell, Judge Presiding. And then, of course, on November 2nd, the other letter again that I filed to Honorable Emily Miskell, Judge Presiding of the 478 District Court. This talks about the Code of Conduct for United States judges. I know a lot of them think they're above the law, but they're not. This is the Federal Younger Doctrine alert that I filed. One of the sentences in it, it says in particular, the sheer amount of ongoing bias, prejudice, and fraud within this case, perpetuated in order to actually aid, abet, conceal, and cover up repeated and continual acts of abuses of process, breach of fiduciary duty, tortious interference with prospective relations, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and vicarious liabilities of criminal acts by an employee by respondent upon the minor child herein is not only grossly disdainful and ghastly, but is indeed criminal. I got the concept of the Federal Younger Doctrine alert from the Family Civil Liberties Union, FCLU.org. Many are filing these Federal Younger Doctrine alerts as precursors to removal to federal court. And so again, I did file mine on 3/3/2016 at 5:40 p.m. and 12 seconds. And to cause 470-52517-2014 of Collin County. After the judge did the motion to enter hearing where Tanner Feast, the court reporter, stopped transcribing as I was making objections on the record, as I was also stating that there were about 20 things that needed a final order signed off so it could be an appealable order, that during the pendency of this case I have filed and Judge Miskell has denied every one. Of course, they didn't want to put those in writing and substantiate them, and so ultimately I did still put those on the record, even though the court's official transcript record is not going to be correct. Again, I don't have the money or the time or the desire to go through and get doctored transcripts anyways, because I know that they've all been doctored. Again, 8/27/14 hearing out of Judge John Roach Jr.'s court said that there was no protective order hearing, even though there was actually an order and an injunction that came out of that hearing, and it shows in county records it's canceled. Ultimately, their records, again, they're obstructed, completely obstructed, not any lawful representation of what has actually happened in my case. So this is another thing. Okay, this was the request letter that I sent to the judge, Emily Miskell, on 11/2, e-filed at 6:05 a.m. So that's in this book. Then I've got the affidavit of Joseph Stephen Christopher. I appreciate him because he actually went with me when I filed my 10/30/15 TRO with the medical advice about my daughter's inability to physically sustain and meet all of her nutritional needs without breastfeeding at the time that they were wanting me to comply with this temporary order in the matter of the marriage of. He wrote an affidavit stating that he went to the courthouse with me. I filed my documents. He doesn't even know if the judge was a male or female because they wouldn't even let us in the courtroom. Again, we were literally locked out from justice. So again, Joseph Stephen Christopher, Joe Jiu-Jitsu Christopher, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for writing that affidavit and letting your voice be heard. This is an article that I actually got from NorthTexasFamilyLawBlog.com/articles/appeals. It's talking about abuse of discretion. Abuse of discretion is when ultimately, judges, they're given great discretion, and again, they hold the power of life and death in their hands. So it's really a bad thing when they abuse that discretion and they are misapplying the law intentionally and knowingly and just inconsiderately. Again, when they do that, children, other individuals are placed in harm's way, or they're kept in harm's way. Again, court sanctioned to abuse and neglect, and that's definitely the case in my situation. So her abuse of discretion is now trying to help perpetuate Mariah's further return to a neglectful, abusive environment. Is also trying to perpetuate my unlawful, illegal arrest and silencing, and again, just have to fight back from all of that. Truth Judge Jesus does not agree. So now we're going to any filing that I made on March 3rd at 3:53 p.m. This was actually the proposed temporary restraining order that from February 22nd, 2016 to March 2nd, 2016, prior to her signing that motion to enter, that 7 people from the Collin County Courthouse fought to keep me from filing. That was Judge Miskell, that was her court coordinator, Mallory Maddox, who refused to set it for hearing upon my request, or any of the requests. That was Christopher Lee that refused. Then also that was Zonia Minharas, Cindy Watson, Stephen Janway, and instructing District Clerk Christie. So this was my TRO that she denied. I need to make a note to myself to have a copy of the actual TRO that I presented, perhaps added to this file, but that's just proof that I did file it, and of course she denied it. This is all the information of the court. I'm actually going to go ahead and put the telephone number up there. This is the 478 District Court at the Collin County Courthouse, 2100 Bloomdale Road, Suite 20146, McKinney, Texas 75071. Court phone number there is 972-548-5670 or 972-424-1460, extension 5670. The email address they have listed on this website is 470@collincountytx.gov. I think it's actually 470@co.collin. .co.tx.gov. So they may have both domains, but it has actually broken up, and I'll provide that information at a later time. This is the Texas Code of Judicial Conduct, and really what I want to go over here, I'm not going to read through the entire thing. You can actually Google this and find this on the website. But what I do want to talk about is the difference in canon number 2 about avoiding impropriety and the appearance of impropriety in all the judge's activities. It goes over in A and B, various different things that a judge shall do, which is, I'm running out of battery and I'm going to